Also, DJ, I know in Skype you can also have it so that it changes the input audio to if you have. Oh, are you using a different computer for Skype?
Yes.
Never mind.
Yes. We already went over this, John.
Fine.
You would have got here 4 minutes early.
Okay. I was Civ 6 is the worst game for like just one more turn.
Dude, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was
only
afraid
imagine.
you guys were going to yell at me for being late.
I was worried. I was worried. But I texted DJ after. I was like, hey, text me your Skype, or what's your Skype in the Discord? And I was like, maybe I should just text you.
Lauren was repeatedly telling me, he's like, you have a podcast to record. And I'm like, I know, but
I have a civilization to run.
Hey everybody, welcome to Pursuing Pixels. This is episode number 71, and my name's Kevin Portelli, and I'm here tonight with Randall Nolery.
Hey everybody.
And John Hines.
Hey there.
And we're also welcoming back after a long absence with this quarantine going on. We got DJ Mandolini back with us. We got a full house tonight. How you doing, Deej?
Yo, doing well. A little nervous. It's been a while. Got a little rust. Got to shake off.
You got a new apartment. You got a new setup.
Apartment,
Yeah. So, all right, I dropped off the mic the other day, did a nice quarantine, contact-free, pretty much, drop-off. And
that's the first time I saw you since March.
Since the last time you were on the podcast, I'm sure.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, if not longer, yeah.
Dude, half a year. Holy shit.
Yeah, for real, it's crazy. It's seriously crazy.
I took a little break.
Well, before we get too sidetracked on the quarantine end of things, why don't you, DJ, kick us off with, I don't know, whatever some of the stuff you wanted to chat about that you've been playing
in the past 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, when I was back recording with you guys, try to, keep up with you and, try to do multiple smaller games every week, and I would kind of neglect some of the games I would usually do. Some of those games that I would get lost in are just like my backlog of crappy PS Plus games that I
combing through the catalog
be worth recommending. But that OCD part of my brain was still there to go through like all those titles, and I came up with a list. You like lists, John.
Ooh.
I came up with a list of all the games I've played through since our last recording.
Oh, nice. Yes.
If I could
rattle through
through.
Let's hear it.
Bear with me. All right.
Yes.
No particular order. So we got 99 Vitas, Batman Arkham Knight, Borderlands 2, Borderlands the pre-sequel, Broken Age, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, Call of Duty World War II, Call of Duty Warzone, City Skylines, Claire, Control, Darksiders 2, Darksiders 3, Day of the Tentacle Remastered, DC Universe Online, Erica, Extreme Exorcism, Fallen Legion, Flames of Rebellion.
Jesus Christ.
Fall
this
Guys.
is alphabetical, no particular order.
No, it's an alphabetical order. There's a very particular order.
As I was saying, Fall Guys, Farming Simulator 19, Phoenix Furia, Five Nights at Freddy's, Foul Play, Friday the 13th the Game, Gauntlet, Goat Simulator, Grim Fandango, Gunhouse, Horizon Chase Turbo, Horizon Zero Dawn, I Am Bread, In Space We Brawl, Invisible Ink, King Oddball, Knack, Knowledge is Power, Outlast, Outlast 2,
your mind, dude.
Prey,
No,
Psychopaths Mandatory Happiness, Qbert Rebooted, Risk of Rain 2, Shadow of the Colossus Remastered, Sonic Forces, Space Overlords, Sparkle 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Star Wall, Tabletop Racing World Tour, Tales from the Borderlands, Tearaway Unfolded, Tricky Towers, Sims 4, The Flame and the Flood, Tomb Raider, Tropico 5, The Witcher 3 DLC packs, The Witness, Uncanny Valley, Until Dawn, Worms Battlegrounds, Ukulele, Zombie, and Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Yes. Oh my God.
Was that like 800 hours of games?
That
is nuts. Obviously, you've been working from home, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Now, did you
Damn.
That's
beat
nuts,
those
man.
games, or are those just the ones that you've put a significant amount of time into?
I will pretty confidently say that I beat them with the slight caveat that any games that are like simulator games,
Right.
I consider like there's no win conditions for those.
Yeah.
So it's play until you don't want to play. And that didn't take long for some of these, like Sims 4. But anyways.
But like, so
Oh,
like
man.
Broken Age, like you got to like credits and like completed
Yeah.
the story.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Okay.
That's nuts. Any particular, like, before we get into Ritual of the Night, are there any, like, just standouts out of any of those, or?
I marked a couple. I mean, like, definitely some, like, more of the, higher end titles like Batman Arkham Knight. I thought that was a total fucking blast.
Nice.
Okay.
Horizon Zero Dawn, again, like, that's
I need to play
well,
that.
I super do too.
Yeah.
Invisible Ink, which you need to play, that is maybe not as well known.
It's out on Switch right now, too,
Oh,
which
yeah.
I need to get. It's on sale for $15 currently, which not when this episode comes out, but at the time of recording.
Nice.
I wonder if there would be issues running that on the Switch, because, like, there were definitely times, like, late in matches in Invisible Ink where it was chugging a little bit on my PS4.
Okay.
Yeah. But,
I wonder if it runs at like a lower fidelity on Switch, maybe.
yeah.
Probably.
And I think my PS4 has, like, some issues anyway, because, like, in, like, all games, I'll usually get a crash at some point. Usually just, like, one. My
Yeah, you're
PS4,
certainly putting it through the paces, so.
I wanted to pick your brain about Zombie, DJ. Did you like Zombie? Because I bought Zombie U and I never freaking played that game.
Oh, and that had some, like, very specific, like, Wii U features,
It
right?
did.
So I'd be kind of
Yeah, it was
curious
like
to
a
hear about
launch
how
game.
they adapted it.
Yeah.
What were the features? Because, I mean, I've only played it on PS4. I don't know how it would have used those features.
I think like when you went into your backpack inventory, that was on the Wii U gamepad, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay.
There was stuff like that, and I think you could even like when you would snipe and stuff. I think you would use like gyro and like
Yeah.
kind of hold up the gamepad to the screen and like use that as your scope. I think like there was like
Yeah.
kind of just a bunch of gamepad incorporation, like very It was called Zombie U because it was made specifically for the Wii U.
Right.
So
Yeah. The one thing I'll recommend is do not do it on like permadeath mode, because I did that the first like couple times just being stubborn, and then it's just like I can't do this. So there'll be a time where like a zombie that like you just didn't see just randomly like detonates in front of you. He's like got a bomb, and that's just like instant death. And it's just like, okay, well, luckily when I experienced that, I was not playing permadeath mode, because I would have chucked some controllers.
and if you're playing on the gamepad, that would have been game over for the Wii U. So
But I mean, it's like it's fine. I mean, if you just want to bash some zombies, it's not bad. It's nothing special.
Yeah.
how long of a game is it if it has permadeath in it?
I want to say like, maybe around 20.
Holy shit.
No, I must be overestimating that. Let's say like 12-ish hours.
Dang. I mean, even
That's still, like,
even
with
if you were going to say 8, I was going to be shocked. So
I mean, it was a lot longer than I was expecting. Like the first couple times I played, like I thought like I made a decent amount. I didn't. So
yeah, because I mean it's like an action game, right? I mean a lot of
survival
permadeath games are typically
action,
like strategy or something like
Yeah.
that. So like that, it just seems kind of nuts to play like a 20-hour or even 10-hour game that you have to beat it without
That at
dying.
like hour
So
18, you could lose all progress.
Oh my god.
you could get detonated. Yeah.
I mean, when you play it normal mode, you like your character like still died. You're not like reloading a previous save or anything. You're just a new survivor that can go to where your previous survivor was killed and get all their stuff and kind of
Right.
more easily continue where they left off.
Right.
Interesting.
Okay.
Like, do areas stay cleared then?
Yeah.
Like, okay. So it's a roguelike.
Kinda.
Kinda. We can stretch that term pretty much as far as we like. So, but yeah, why don't we dig into some Bloodstained Ritual of the Night? If you were
Or,
about to,
yeah,
unless
were
you were
there
about to
any
say
other-
something else.
Just a couple other, like Outlast 2.
Oh, yeah.
I thought there was pretty good, like, I thought that was a pretty sweet story. And like, they had like these great flashbacks where like you'd be remembering a time when you were in high school and like maybe be like climbing, climbing a building, like, and pulling yourself through a window. And then it would like do these smooth transitions where it would like jump to the present and you're climbing through a window. Like at that point, it was just very
that's
smoothly transitioning in and out between like past and present.
Okay, so you're talking
Nice.
about like in the game, like
Yes.
I thought you were saying like that it was reminding you of when you were in high school.
That's what I thought you said
Climbing
first
to
too.
a
Yeah.
building.
When I used to time travel, when I would jump through the windows at my old high school.
Oh boy.
And that's like another horror-ish game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd say like the setting, I guess, wasn't as scary as the first one, but I was just way more into the story and like, the way they incorporated those like flashbacks and stuff like that.
I purposely avoided that game because I've just like thought it was too brutal from the little bit that I had seen of it. But like, it sounds like
Brutal scary, brutal hard.
brutal violent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of like my first impression was like it kind of had like a little bit of like a manhunty vibe or something. Maybe not
that was
quite
my-
as like
yeah.
serial killery as that, but like it had that kind of like vibe.
I mean, your hunches were right.
Okay. Good to know.
Okay, we'll steer
I'll
clear.
leave it alone
Yeah.
then. I think. For
Yeah.
my
I think
sake.
we'll steer clear. If you've listened to many of our episodes, you'll know Randall and I will shy away.
Yeah. A little squeamish.
But you don't get scared, Kevin.
I know, but I just don't really like playing.
Fair enough.
We're nice boys.
Fair enough. And we'll probably talk about this at a later time, but Tropico 5, I also highly endorse.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. Should we get into the fight John and I are going to have with each
yeah,
other?
we're gonna
Let's
fight.
talk some
Oh,
Bloodstained. Because and hey, you've played this too, right, Randall? At least a little bit of it.
No, I
Ritual of
own
the
it,
Night?
but I have not played it.
Okay, I know I can never remember whether you own it or whether you've played it. But yeah, I know you have a physical copy of this one, right?
I do.
Yeah, and I actually booted it up on Game Pass last night just for like 5 minutes, and I was like, you know what? I'm playing a ton of other games right now. I was like, let me wait and see what I know DJ and John are going to talk about it, and we've already talked about it before on the podcast. But I was like, let me wait and see what these guys have to say, and I'll have this decide whether I'm going to actually play it or not. So take it away, Deej.
Round one.
Me? I mean,
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, you played it most recently.
And we've gone over like in a previous episode, like what
Yeah,
the
everybody knows it's kind of a
mechanics are, so-
Metroidvania, Castlevania-ish. If you're not familiar,
All right.
it's kind of going for the Symphony of the Night style. Yeah, we don't have to like go into all the mechanics. We can just have more of a deep dive combo on this one.
and let me just offer a disclaimer before any of this that I've never played Symphony of the Night, so like whatever.
Have you played any of the like Game Boy Advance or the
Nope.
DS ones? Okay,
No.
so this is you are a classic Castlevania fan.
Yes.
Yeah,
very
because
much
you're
so.
a big fan of 1 and 3, right?
Yes,
Like on
yes.
the NES. Yeah.
Correct.
And that is have you played any of like the Rondo of Bloods or like the Genesis, like the later Sega ones?
No.
Those games are so
Okay.
good.
Because I
Sega?
think those.
I've never owned Sega.
I think they may have been ported to PlayStation at some point, but like
They
there
were
is
on a few other systems. Yeah.
They're in that latest collection that
re-release.
came out.
Oh.
yeah there's
ooh.
definitely a bridge
tempting.
between classic and like I don't know if you would call it current because like Konami is not putting out any new Castlevanias. Like, this is the successor of the Castlevania series from Igarashi, but
Yep.
other than that, yes. So yes, let's hear you destroy one of my favorite
No,
series.
no, not destroy. I
Critique.
for the most part, I did have a good time with this game, but there were times where I got stuck, and that almost soured me too much on this.
Understandable.
I mean,
That's often my experience with a Metroidvania. I think we've
Yeah.
mentioned that many times for a lot of us, or all of us.
Yep.
I'm especially salty because I did consult a walkthrough.
Who
it
cares? I'm always pulling up YouTube clips.
It happens.
I hate
Can I-
myself when I do that.
Can I ask where you or what you had to look
You
up?
sure can. I mean, am I cool to semi-spoil, I guess? I mean,
Yeah, we
I'll
can
take my
we can
headphones
say
off
if
for a
you're
second.
looking. Oh, okay, yeah. Randall, I'll give you a cue and you can put your ears back on if you want.
Thank you.
all right.
And everybody else, quick spoiler alert, I guess.
Yeah.
The soft spoiler alert.
All right.
We're pretty sensitive around here.
So you know how like there's that basic ability you have to like activate magical things around you.
Yes.
I was in the library area and was not paying enough attention to the background to see that some of those shelves had like the indicator that you could do magic on them.
Right.
Like it was just
Because it doesn't come up very often. Like
it doesn't.
And it's not. It's very like explicitly stated like in the very first room that you ever encounter, and then it's probably like hours in between that point and like the library, which is what you're saying.
I was going to say
like,
it came up in the first like 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, but there's too much going on in this game. I was like, I'll wait and see what these guys have to say.
To be fair to the game, I think like in a room or two before you get to that room, you do use that ability. So I think that may have been like a cue that that may be coming. But I've noticed that in a lot of these games, I completely miss a lot of things in the background. Had a similar experience with something in Day of the Tentacle Remastered that Mikey had to clue me in on, and it was equally frustrating.
okay.
So
Yeah.
definitely, and I will do like thorough runs throughout like the castle before I actually, will admit defeat and consult a walkthrough.
Right.
So I lost a couple hours. Another, I'm spoiler, Randall.
No, I know, like you just put on.
There's more than one. Okay. The one that I think is most bullshit is, you know how there's the one dude who gives you access to the train?
Yeah.
Okay. So I had talked to him, but you have to talk to him a second time for him to offer that up.
Can you talk to him before you have access to the train?
Maybe. I think I may have discovered him
Because maybe
later than I should have.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
yeah, because
I was introduced to him, and I was just like, "Oh, you're just a librarian." Went away, and
Gotcha.
then-
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Like it is yeah, Randall, you're good to go, Randall.
I don't even think any of that was
Yeah, I know.
spoiler
We are
in my
being very
opinion.
generous with the term
Yeah.
spoiler, but
Yeah.
I talked
like,
to a
Appreciate the
character.
caution all the same.
Yeah,
I
for
do
sure,
think
for
that
sure.
Dialogue has never really been I think, strong point of the later Castlevanias. I don't think the stories are necessarily good.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. Yes.
I'll say the voice acting wasn't bad from the little bit I saw, though. I was like, this isn't half bad. I know maybe you won't agree, John, but I thought it wasn't that bad. I mean, I was breezing through it, but I still thought it was like better than average.
Yeah,
I kind of assumed it was kind of standard quality for that
yeah,
type.
I put it on Japanese voice acting, but that's just because I'm a nightmare person. But no, I one of the things that I did want to talk to you about, because you did bring up that you played through Zangetsu mode.
You mean the best mode?
Yeah. Okay. See, I was not expecting that, honestly.
I love Zangetsu mode.
Nice.
I also really enjoyed Zangetsu mode, and I wonder what it would be like, because I'm assuming you played it basically directly after beating the original
Directly
mode.
after the same day.
And how much did you just try to like break sequence and like go to areas that because like one of the very first areas in the castle is like this giant drop off, and from the get-go you basically have an infinite jump.
Sure do.
So you can access basically one of the final areas of the game like right from the start.
I did sequence break at the beginning, but then I was doing it on hard mode, which still at the beginning isn't really hard. You're very powerful at the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, I got the sense that like it'll probably take a little longer to do it the sequence breaking way. From dying a bunch. So I was just like, I just want to, monster my way through this. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like Zangetsu mode is very representative of like the extra modes that are in like the GBA and DS era Castlevanias, where like they're kind of tacked on, and like you don't gain abilities. You basically have all of your abilities right from the start. And in the very first area, it gives you like very inelegantly just a list of all of your like in a pop-up window. Yes, of the entire like moves. And if you move too far to the right in the room, the list disappears. So you have like a very small window in the room to like learn all the combos.
It dawned on me late game that I had forgotten one of the moves, so I had to make my way all the way back to the beginning in order to see that prompt.
Oh my God.
I could have looked it up online, but, fuck it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
and John... Go ahead.
I super appreciate whenever it's like, you've got all the moves you need, like, and it was more of the game I was hoping it would be, which isn't, the standard game's fault or anything, but it was just like, this is a pure combat experience.
Right.
So.
And a little bit closer to like, at least the like Curse of the Moon, or I forget, is it called Curse of the Moon?
Yep.
Curse
of the Moon.
Yeah. But like that experience where, you are just like a standard set character, and like the different characters have different abilities, but you're not unlocking things like you would in the later like Castlevania series games. But one thing
you get are the occasional like health and like mana upgrades, but other than that, you only heal by entering the save room.
Right. And there's no like items at all. Like there are no NPCs in the game. Like that part of the game is just removed whole cloth. Yeah. And like there's not really a story.
People were definitely hoping for a story, but I'm satisfied with what I got.
That might be my mode. That might be my way into this game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But one thing I did want to touch on it before we move on is that I also started a randomizer mode. Which was another additional thing that they added post the original release of the game. And the randomizer mode has a ton of options for like just completely breaking the game. Like some of it's...
I took a peek myself a couple hours ago, but go on.
Oh, yeah. Like, and some of it is like, here you can keep all of the like boss drops the same, or you can keep all of like the shop drops the same, or you can like randomize up to like, so the teleporters and save rooms are randomized as well. And I went as far, I think I kept like shop inventory the same, but other than that, I randomized everything just to see how like broken it could get. And it is honestly, I think, a testament to like the level design, how playable the game is with like all those things like really like jacked up.
I want to add a small caveat to that. I did a couple seeds where like you don't start with any weapon.
Right.
But
and
like,
that one does suck, honestly.
Yeah. Both mine started with no weapon, and like I wasn't really even that close to a weapon, so it's just like I'm just doing 1 damage and I die in like 4 hits. I can't get through like this first section, so I couldn't even play it. Like if they just gave you like a most basic
standard weapon. Standard equipment,
just like a little dagger or something.
Yeah. I agree. I think like I lucked out because in the first area, like the first, I don't know, 4 enemies, none of the drops were helpful, but like the 5th enemy or whatever, like dropped a weapon that was decently strong enough that like I could use it, which again, at that point is literally any weapon.
Yeah.
But later on in the game, like I had beaten a couple bosses, and especially like I had beaten the boss that should have given me double jump, and like that opens up like the map. Like you usually cannot progress any further than that. But luckily enough, like in the random seed I did get the like ray like teleport jump.
Oh, nice.
Which like it's like it isn't like it just like teleports you a very short distance that you have to aim with your like R stick, and like through that I was able to like kind of jerry rig my way through a lot of like double jumps. Like I had to clear out basically all enemies from a screen so that like none of them were knocking me off, so I could make these really precise, like really dumb like jumps. But I managed to get far enough that like I was able to get to a further area in the game than I should have, and like completely skip over an area. But like I actually like was really surprised at just how far I could get in such like a completely randomized mode. And like I know that you know, in a random mode, that's not always going to be the case. Like sometimes you will just be shit out of luck. But
well, I was going to say, I wonder if there is any way, a guarantee that it will be beatable, or you could theoretically have an unbeatable seed.
I'm pretty sure you could, if you're doing like full randomized mode, that I'm pretty sure you could get like an unbeatable seed. But like I do think like if you know you still want to like have the experience of like, oh, regular enemies are dropping like completely bonkers shards throughout the game, or completely random items through the game. Like you can still keep like the like boss like drops the same, or like the core progression drops the same, and like you can keep that intact. But I appreciated the fact that you could really just go all out and just see how far you could break the game and if it's playable.
I mean, yeah, with all the Metroid Prime stuff you've talked, John, I mean, that just sounds straight up your alley. Like, let me just see how far I can push this to the limits. So
there was a little game breaking that I did like in the standard game, kind of out of stupidity and laziness. I'm not a fan of in that game constantly going into my inventory.
So that's why I stopped.
I neglected to notice that I had picked up a set of armor that protects me from traps, which is very crucial for one part of the game. So I stocked up on health items and muscled my way through it.
Just damage sponged your way, like going through every single health potion every like couple seconds.
I ate a lot. Yeah.
All right, that's ridiculous, but I think we've talked enough Bloodstained at this point. But Randall, I know you're still chipping away at another Metroidvania, and we've mentioned it a number of times. I've played only a tiny bit since we talked about it last on the podcast, which I think was last week. We've got a couple episodes in the can, so I forget which one it is.
Feels like it's been every week lately.
Seriously, but that's a good sign. Yeah, we don't always. You and I are probably the two worst at actually finishing games.
That's correct. Absolutely.
Yeah. So why don't we talk a tiny bit of Monster Boy, or as much as we want to, actually.
Yeah, so I'm still playing Monster Boy in the Cursed Kingdom. I'm over 30 hours, says the Switch.
I was just going to ask how far you are.
Yeah, in a 2D, Metroidvania game, and in my head I'm thinking, normally even if it's on the longer side, you're talking like 15, maybe 20 hours, maybe.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
30 plus. I'm still going. I haven't beaten this thing yet. And part of that's on me because I'm a little bit more completionist type when I like the game and I'm into it. I'm trying to find all the secrets, and this game does a lot to encourage you to find said secrets. And there's a nice feedback loop where as I'm getting these like secrets that are these gems that I'm socketing into equipment that's making me stronger, and it's making the areas less bullshitty because I'm stronger and I'm having a better time. So like I'm continuing to like avoid the main quest essentially to go off in these directions where I know secrets exist. But now I'm kind of teetering into like I need to be done with this territory. Like I just want to see credits on this thing. Like 30 hours is like way more than plenty. And I'm just ready. But I am seemingly in the end game, like most of that gigantic map is uncovered to me now.
Nice.
Which is good. But yeah, like I have all the protagonists unlocked, which
I was just going to ask if you have your human form back yet.
I do. It depends on how much you want me to get into that, Kevin. But yes, I do.
I'm more than okay with it. I guess we'll say fair warning again on light spoilers for for anyone who's concerned. But
yeah,
I think it's safe to go into it, at least on my end.
Okay, so I've unlocked both the dragon and I've re-unlocked the human form that you start out as briefly in this game. And the dragon in particular is awesome because you can fly around and find even more secrets, up at the top of areas. And you have this fire breath ability, which is very useful in a number of ways because otherwise the only way you could shoot fire was through the pig. But that was limited to you finding more of those fire power-ups or buying them over time. Like they were limited use, but with the dragon they're not.
Okay.
Yeah. So
heck yeah.
That makes a pretty huge difference. Yeah. So I've spent a lot of time finding all of the secrets in this game. I pretty sure I found like over 80% of them already. And I'm still having like, when I do something awesome or like there's a new charming area, I'm like, oh yeah, this game's good. Like I'm having a great time. And like, there's little cute moments that the game shows how much heart it has and how much it knows, like, and acknowledges the history of, like, Monster Boy and Wonder Boy. And I'm like, oh, yeah, like, I'm a sucker for that stuff. Someone that's played a decent amount of these games historically, too. And it's still difficult, like, but I guess I'm more used to that now. Like, I'm just used to how crazy difficult this game is.
Yeah, it was a gut punch, though, starting it up. It was just like, holy shit, this game is whipping my ass.
I'd be curious to see you play this game, DJ, because
that's what he said. He told me he wasn't interested because he was like, hey, not interested, but you were like, oh, it didn't catch my eye because it looked kind of easy.
No, well,
but
which it does. I mean, it has like a very cutesy look to it, so it's easy to like think it. Oh yeah, here's the easy kiddie platformer.
It's got a beautiful.
But I think I was mistaking it for something else. So
there's so many of these games, and the whole series is confusing naming wise. So that's no fault to you at all. But yeah, there's like enough content here that I almost wish they would have split out some of this into like DLC. Even if it was paid DLC, like would have been easier for me to like have seen credits 5+ hours ago and then be like, yes, of course, now I will play the DLC. Like there's so much game in this game. I didn't need it to be this much game, but it's there. Which, a weird thing to complain about, but
No, I know what you mean. There's an ever-growing list of games we need to check off of our list. So, yeah. And speaking of, if you're good to wrap that up there, Randall.
Yeah, because I'll talk about this one more time when I beat it, and I feel like I'm close, and I'm pushing for the end now, and like I'm willing to look up a walkthrough to get past the section on that to like
the old DJ special.
Yes, just like DJ.
Oh man. Well, one of the games I was hoping to check off my list, or I saw that it was available on Game Pass. Yet another game I'm playing. The value of Game Pass is just unbelievable.
It is,
which we mention constantly. I know. But I decided to play the Messenger boot up the Messenger since DJ was going to be back on the podcast, and we talked about it many, many moons ago. And man, I am loving this game so far. And it's got some Metroidvania elements to it, although I haven't quite gotten to that point yet. I think, DJ, if I'm not mistaken, again, I don't think this is a spoiler of any kind.
This is like
I think
the most
everybody
spoiled
knows
thing ever. So
this is like a game that like hit a certain, I don't know if it was on Kickstarter or whatever crowdfunding platform it was, but it like hit a certain goal, and it was like, okay, we're adding in a 16-bit. It's not just going to be this 8-bit retro inspired game. We're going to have a 16-bit world as well, and you're kind of time traveling. So I'm actually at the part, I'm almost positive I'm like at the boss that once I kill it, I will get this time travel mode. I'm the Tower of Time is what it's called.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm assuming I got to the boss earlier today, and I was just like, okay, I died once or twice, and I'd been playing a decent amount. So I was like, okay, I'm going to call it there, but I am really loving it. Like, I pretty much have all the different abilities that you can get unlocked so far, which I really like how that's paced out, like to where it's like, it kind of feels like I'm only maybe about just shy of 2 hours into the game. So I really like how it's paced out, like these levels and the way it's like all strung together. And it's really got a great Ninja Gaiden vibe. Those like cutscenes, like it really pays a great homage to that. But there's so much more. And I'm sure DJ mentioned this when we talked about it before with the controls. But like you eventually get like a wingsuit, and you can like ride up gusts of wind, and you can like then upgrade like where you can slash your sword, and the main mechanic is like you're slashing your sword to either clear projectiles or kill enemies to do like a double jump essentially, and you can just chain that infinitely.
That's the best feeling.
It's awesome.
Get that going.
Yeah, because you can also like almost like hit it, like jump and slash at like the same time almost. They're just like, a split second. You can just like roll your thumbs off the buttons and like just like chain these jumps and like keep chaining it into the bosses, and there's just like really cool bosses. Like the game's got a great personality,
so much charm.
Like it's really funny, like actually funny. Not like I know I said that I initially thought that a Journey to the Savage Planet was
your credibility's a little
oh come on go with me here. But then I think this one's really funny. Like it's just like, I don't know, the way like the bosses will always like mistake your name for like you're not the messenger, like they call you like the postman or something.
That's cute.
I can't think of like cute. It's just stupid stuff like that. But it's just really cute.
Yeah.
One of the bosses I fought recently was like, I don't know if they were like a tag team wrestling duo, and you kind of fight each one of them, and they each have like a weakness, obviously. I thought that was a really cool boss fight. And yeah, I really am enjoying this game. I'm really excited to see how it opens up once I get this time travel 16-bit mechanic, but I'm really loving. I will say it's almost like there's too much going on. Like you can customize the controls, but like it gets to be like a little bit tricky to like when you're trying to like jump and then hold down the jump button to hover down and then slash at the same time and then chain that into a double jump. Like I just find myself, and then also you get like an arrow dart, which is kind of like a grappling hook, which that's another great joke in the game. It's like that gives you the arrow dart, and it's just like right after you get it, it's like, and everyone's just going to call it the grappling hook anyways or something. There's just like great.
That's pretty good.
I really love it. Yeah, it's like it never misses when it goes for the joke, in my opinion.
That's great.
But yeah, I'm really loving it. I don't know if you have anything you want to add. I know you actually played a little bit of it to refresh your memory, Deej, but is it holding up as well as you recalled?
It completely does. And I'm just really excited for you to get the upgraded songs when you do the time traveling.
I forgot about that aspect.
Because there's 2 versions of every song.
And the music is great, which we
cool.
always save for last, but goddamn, the music is awesome.
Nice.
Like every track just jams. It's so good. And the puzzle platforming, though, I know we talked about a lot of the like slashing enemies and chaining that, but like a lot, like this Tower of Time level is like really, like it's really precise, like kind of precision platforming, like not even really a lot of enemies. It's really cool.
Nice.
I really dug that section. But yeah, I'm excited to see more of the 16-bit stuff. Was there anything more that you were wanted to add on that, Deej?
I'm just so happy for you. That's
I know. I was like, I kind of kept waiting to boot it up because I was kind of nervous to that I wouldn't like it or something. I would let you down. But real quick before we wrap up, too, I was probably a few episodes ago now, but another game on Game Pass that I mentioned a while ago was Sea Salt. And I was having some issues, I think I mentioned, with the saving. Like, it wasn't saving my progress for the character unlocks and stuff like that. and I deleted the game. I rebooted it up, and like it kept, like it would still have my save data, and I deleted the save data, and it would still, when I reinstalled it, I would be in the same spot. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I noticed that like I had a cloud save somehow. I deleted that. I deleted everything, totally wiped it, reinstalled it, and everything is working now. Like
nice.
I unlocked a new apostle character. I unlocked a bunch of new cards that unlock like new types of minions. And just real quickly, it's just kind of like a top-down, room-by-room, like strategy-ish game, real-time strategy, sort of, but it's like more action-based. And you got like Pikmin-esque. I think I mentioned that on the podcast. Like you kind of control this group of minions, and you just swarm enemies and stuff. And man, this game is getting hard as shit. Like it is so hard. But like I've got new characters, like so these like demons or whatever I have, or creatures. I've got like fishmen now that are like pretty strong, pretty powerful. I've got these. I've got a lich that can like raise enemies from the dead, or my minions from the dead after they're dead, and reincarnate them a couple of times until the lich is killed. So like just tons of cool. Like I'm so happy I got this game working because I just wanted to briefly mention that now that I've got it and I'm chipping away further, like I'm gonna play so much more. And I don't even know if I mentioned arena mode on the podcast when I played before, but I played some more of that, and the arena mode is just fantastic. I might have mentioned it before, but just a whole nother way to like extend some life into that game. I highly, highly recommend this one.
That's good to know, because I downloaded it, but I didn't really check it out when you're like, it's got some glitchy issues. They're talking about patching it. And I'm like, all right, let me leave this alone for a second. So that's good to know.
Yeah, it's working for me now to the best of my knowledge. So I haven't, like I said, I unlocked stuff. I quit the game. I rebooted it. I still had all my stuff. So
awesome.
And all my progress. So yeah, I just wanted to briefly mention that that's working. And if anybody's played, their most recent game is called Post Void. I haven't checked it out, but I really want to see. It's supposed to be like, the whole concept of the game is like, you know how like the end of the game when you have like the last like 3-minute section and the timer's running out and you got to make it to the end. They're like, what if that was the whole game?
Oh gosh.
And so I don't know exactly. It just has a crazy style. The developer again is YCJY. I think it's just the two brothers' initials.
Nice.
I could be wrong on that, but I think unless anybody else has anything they wanted to mention before we wrap up, I think we can call it quits for tonight.
Wrap it up.
I'm good.
All right. Sounds good, guys. Well, as always, you can find all the links in the bottom of the episode description. We've got you can hang with us on Discord. We've got our YouTube, our Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. Again, like I said, we got links in the episode description. And we'll catch you all next week. And until then, take care.
Bye.
Good to be back, guys. Happy birthday, Kevin.
There you go.
Aw, thanks.
Happy birthday, Kevin.
Thanks, guys. Take care. I like that shirt, Randall, by the way. I didn't see it when you were sitting down, but what is that?
Is a Celeste shirt.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wait.
Nice.
Stand up. Let me see.
It's nice.
Yeah, that's
it's
cool.
got a cassette on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I fucking need new like I haven't bought new shirts in a million years. I used to get band tees, but I can't fucking go to concerts anymore. Like I used to get video game tees from like expos and shit, but I don't go to those anymore. Like, and now all my shirts are like pilled and gross. I need new shirts.
Honestly, I'm like finally running through. I've had like an overflowing amount of shirts that I'm finally like burning through some.
Yeah.
And I was like, this was well needed. I'm glad that I stopped the influx of just buying band tees.
I also got fatter than I was before, so all my medium shirts don't fit as well as they should have. So I'm like, okay. Gotta do something.
I put on a large the other day for the first time in a while, and I was like, this is a little more comfy.